Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and tonight was Monday Night Raw. First off, I do want to say sorry to Esports Gaming Rules. This morning, earlier during the wrestling wrap-up, I did miss his super chat, so I will get to those before we start talking Raw tonight. Again, I do want to say sorry for missing, not the super chats, but the bit donations. So if Esports Gaming Rules is here, I do want to say sorry for missing your bit donations. I will get to those before we talk Raw. Also, the big elephant in the room. Y'all virgins in the chat need to fucking grow up. Fucking people over here. Oh, I'm not even going to read some of these comments. I'm not even going to read some of the comments because it's like, damn. Some of y'all never been with a woman before. Like, Jesus Christ. But regardless, big elephant in the room. Yes, Naomi is pregnant. Yes, Naomi did have to vacate the Women's World Championship. And yes, Naomi's been wrestling pregnant, not knowing it. So Naomi stated on Stephanie McMahon's podcast that she is 7 weeks pregnant and found out last Thursday. Well, let's see how many matches Naomi has had in the last 7 weeks. Let's check for a second. So let's go to Naomi's cage match. Alexa, what was the date 7 weeks ago?
Monday.
Okay, now we're going to go see, since June 30th, how many matches Naomi has worked. Since June 30th, Naomi has worked matches. So since June 30th, if we're looking in that rough time frame, because she said again that she is roughly 7 weeks pregnant, she has worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. She has worked 6 matches. She won the women's Money in the Bank ladder match on the... Let's see. She won the women's Money in the Bank ladder match on the... Oh, okay. I see what this is. I was confused because they had her 2 matches at Evolution switched up. So she won the Money in the Bank women's ladder match on the 6th of June. But since June 30th, she won the title. She had the no holds barred match with Jade Cargill at Evolution, won the title at Evolution, then worked a couple house shows where she teamed with Nia Jax against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Then she did the big 8-woman tag on Raw, and then she worked the triple threat at SummerSlam. So she's worked 6 matches, roughly 5 to 6 matches. Well, 4 to 6 matches since she's pregnant. Because if she was pregnant at Evolution on 7/13, then there we go. Also, we got just the dumbest person in the Twitter comments. I'm just gonna blow this guy up because this is the fucking dumbest. We're gonna throw this on the screen because these are just some of the dumbest comments here from this guy. Like, I gotta shout out this loser. Do it this way. There we go. So I post this and I say, hey, breaking, Naomi pregnant will vacate women's world title. He comments, congratulations, but wasted MITB. I said, how is it wasted? She was pregnant when she won. She wasn't. So this is what we didn't. This is before we knew the 7 weeks. I said she wasn't pregnant when she won it or cashed in. We didn't know that. We do not know that she was, but didn't know that she was. I said sometimes shit happens. Just happens, right? He then proceeds to say, could have been used to skyrocket another talent to the top and let her go off and have her kid. I'm assuming they let WWE know they were trying for kids at some point. Was only a month ago. She won it. She could have been days pregnant at cash in and didn't know yet. And boom, there we go. He answered his own question. They were not, from everything it sounds like, they were not trying. From everything it sounds like, they were not trying. It's just something that happens. And this guy over here, well, they should have put the Money in the Bank on somebody else because she was pregnant and you got to put it on. What? They didn't. She didn't know she was. She didn't know she was till last week. She said on the Stephanie McMahon podcast that she's 7 weeks pregnant and found out last Thursday. She found out last Thursday after her body wasn't feeling right. It was feeling different than it ever had before. And, well, she went to the doctor. They heard the heartbeat and they found out she was pregnant. So for people to now get mad on social media that it was a wasted Money in the Bank and a wasted cash in and that they should have put it on somebody else. How do you put it on somebody else? You got a crystal ball? You know she's going to get pregnant weeks ago? You know that? You know before she knew? Before her body was showing signs and giving her different feels? No. So dumb virgins like that on Twitter, just saying. Just saying. Oh, so then there's more. He responded. Hold up, there's more. I said, yeah, when she won the briefcase, how were we supposed to know that she was going to get pregnant? Now, we know that she wasn't pregnant when she won the briefcase, but she was when she cashed in. I mean, you entered your own statement saying she didn't know yet. Of course. So what are you making such a big deal? Shit happens. He goes, no big deal. You asked how it was wasted. I answered. But it wasn't wasted because we still got great moments with Naomi as the champion. Naomi got to be the champion. Like, shit happens. This guy over here, mad. I'm going to comment one more time. No, you are making a big deal. No, you are making a big deal out of something that really is not. Have a good night, sir. Oh, if you guys could see some of the shit that I've been getting in messages and whatnot, I can't even show them. It's that bad. It's that bad. I had to report a guy multiple times now to Instagram because I'm just getting, yeah, just saying. Like, let me see something. Oh, the guy didn't respond again because he probably got banned. Like, I'll just say it. Like, no, I can't. I'll get in trouble for even just trying to. Nope. All I'm gonna say is people are dumb, can't read, and are probably blind. But they're gonna send you very, very, very obscene messages with just the worst words, and then hide behind a private account with a picture of the freaking Philadelphia Eagles football team. Yeah, you're a hard motherfucker. You're a badass. But let's get to some of these bit donations from esports gaming rules. Again, I do want to apologize for missing them earlier today. The first one says Triple Mania for WWE and Lucha Libre AAA. And is WWE and AAA even teasing an Alberto return? And do you think WWE is doing a PLE on ESPN as a sneak peek for their partnership? So there's a couple of things here. We know that WWE for sure does not want to use Alberto in the United States. That's been said by multiple different sources and outlets. Now, if they were to use him just in Mexico on a show in Mexico, that's a completely different story because for some reason, the Mexican fan base loves Alberto. Super pissed off that they took the title off of him for Vikingo. So I don't ever see him working anything for WWE and AAA in the US, but maybe he pops up at a show in Mexico. We don't know. As far as the second part of your question, is WWE going to run a PLE on ESPN as like a sneak peek? It's very possible. Very possible for the sole fact that they can tell Peacock, hey, we're contractually obligated to give you 12. Or maybe it's less or more. I don't know. But since they're getting 2 in August, the second August one would count as their September. Gotta go, bada bing, bada boom, whatever. So, yeah. His other one says, oh, I think you're talking about the did you see Chris Jericho like the post on Instagram and a tease of a return to WWE? So no, that's not what it was. I think Jericho liked this post as a joke because this is a Instagram account that posts fake news all the time. The JM whatever it is, I think is what it JM Productions or JM something or other. I don't even know what the name of the page is because it's so irrelevant. They post fake news all the time. Basically what happens is if it's real news, they'll source where it came from. Fightful, PWU Insider, Wrestling Observer. But then they'll just post random ass shit with no source because it didn't come from anywhere because they made it up. And I think Jericho maybe liked the Instagram post because he found it so nonsensical, so stupid, so dumb, so funny, so just out there. So, yeah, that's nothing for nothing. It was not a tease of nothing because no one's reported anything on Jericho's contract. What is the last thing we knew about Jericho's contract? I can go look right now. What is the latest news we know on Chris Jericho's contract? Let's go look really fast. Do we even have info on Jericho's contract? I think we do, but Chris Jericho, his contract is up at the end of the year. So basically, what that post was saying was, oh, Jericho's contract's up at the end of the year and he wants to go back to WWE. Like it said, I'm not going to show it or anything because they don't get that kind of, yeah. But because I had like so many people sending me this, and there's a reason I didn't report it and aggregate it. There's a reason Fightful didn't aggregate it. There's a reason the Wrestling Observer didn't aggregate it. Nobody aggregated it because it isn't real. But it basically said, if I can find it now. Maybe I can't. It was too far back. But it was basically something to the effect of Jericho's contract's up at the end of December. Looking to go back to the WWE. Something about the Rumble, maybe, I think. I don't remember 100% for sure exactly what it said. But I don't see it anymore. Because it's not real. It was fake news. They made it up. Based off of, so they took what we knew as real news and then added to it to try to make themselves look like they know what they're talking about when they don't. Also, Esports Gaming Rule says, Omos and El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., a former NOAH champion, is AAA now. Right. We don't know exactly how much they're going to use Omos in AAA, but it sounds like they want to really utilize him as like the big monster of AAA right now, like the big giant brute guy, which would be cool. And then finally he says, congrats to Naomi and Big Jim because as Triple H say, life is more important than championships. And X/Twitter. And I am watching Rich Eisen on ESPN Sports Center after my Bengals beat Washington of preseason Monday Night Football before the official Monday Night Football season begins on ESPN. And Rich Eisen comes home with his show on ESPN and Disney platforms. Yeah, Rich Eisen is going. His show's moving from Roku to ESPN, September 2nd, I think? Correct me if I'm wrong. As far as being all happy because the Bengals beat the Commanders. I mean, that's like saying you beat the Panthers. Just saying, guy. Like, I saw some of the highlights from that game tonight. And the Bengals looked good. Like, they looked good. They always look good. But, yeah, you beat the Commanders in the preseason. What are we really getting excited about? I was like, I had a guy telling me, oh, God, the Jets, they're looking so good right now. Oh, I'm like, it's preseason, bro. Like, they were all happy because the Jets beat the Bills last week. And I'm like, it's preseason. They didn't even play Josh Allen. Like, no, don't even start with that. The Jets are garbage. Always have been and always will be. I mean, just ask Mr. Deeds. They told that man on the helicopter, you own the Jets, Mr. Deeds. He goes, oh, that sucks, or something along those lines. So, we've been making fun of the Jets sucking for decades. But with all of that, no Luke tonight. He had school stuff. School started back up. So he's like, hey, I can't make it. I said, totally understand. Don't worry about it. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you did. Right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat in the comments section. You get access to our graphics packages, graphics tutorials, and I think later this week, I'm going to be doing a retro review. Not sure what we're going to watch yet, but we're going to watch something. Also, you can get all that over at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. The benefit of doing it at Patreon, it's just more organized. That's all. It's more organized. And then finally, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting into that new season of Fortnite, getting them Power Ranger skins, or maybe you're pre-ordering. Well, actually, is it out yet? You're getting the new Madden. Can't remember if it actually came out yet or not. What's the release date on that one? But new Madden is coming out. It comes out, let's see, Madden 26 comes out. Let's see, is it out or is it on pre-order? Out now. Or if you're getting Madden, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout. Doesn't cost you anything extra. It only takes a couple of seconds to type it in. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Also, this damn game for the base edition is $70. Woof. Woof. We use our code PW Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. As far as Raw does go, that was a good show. Way better than last week's SmackDown. Way better than last week's SmackDown. Last week's SmackDown was garbage. Boring. Bad. Raw tonight? Had a good time. Really enjoyed the whole show. Easy to watch. Really flowed well. Good wrestling. So Jey Uso and Naomi were shown arriving separately into the building, and we got a recap of last week's Raw. So we had 6 things announced before the show went on the air, and we knew that Roman Reigns was advertised for the show, so it was going to pop up at some point, and we saw him at the end of the night. But which also means that Roman doesn't need to be in Australia yet to film for Street Fighter. But Cody is in Australia right now to film for Street Fighter. If you guys didn't see, let's pull this up on the screen really fast because this is big. This is big. Cody and Roman are both in the Street Fighter movie. We finally got confirmation that Cody is in Street Fighter. He is playing Guile. Because before it was more rumored or anything. It was first rumored that Cody was in talks to read for the movie. And then like Deadline was like, he's in the movie and so forth. But Andrew Schultz actually posted this yesterday, last night. Now, he posted on his Instagram story with Cody's theme playing over it. And that is Cody as Guile. He's got the hair. Yes, he's got the hair. He's got the flat top. Unlike Jean-Claude Van Damme, who didn't want to do the hair, Cody is doing the hair. That is our first look, I guess you would say first look, at Cody Rhodes as Guile in the upcoming Street Fighter movie. But back to a Monday Night Raw. Let me pull my notes back up here. Bada boom, bada boom. So the Vision opened up the show. It's Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and Bronson Reed. Seth Rollins wore a floral patterned suit and pants. Everyone sang his song as they came down to the ring. They also cheered for Paul Heyman, who said he was a god in this city. And yes, they were in Philadelphia. The city would build him a statue, but he was far too humble to accept credit that he deserved for everything he's done in front of and behind this camera. Bluntly, I'm the GOAT, is what Paul Heyman said. Heyman said the ring was filled with goats. He put over Breaker and Bronson Reed in the same manner as he always does. Reed continues to carry Roman Reigns' shoes. Now he's got 2 pairs of shoes around his neck. The Shulafalas. Crowd starts chanting OTC. Heyman put over Rollins. Said that he's beaten Roman Reigns twice. The crowd sang his song. Rollins was about to speak, but out came Jey Uso. Jey remained in the crowd for his promo. He pointed the microphone at a couple of kids that were like, yeet, 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 yeeting on him. Jey was tired of the Vision. He called Braun Breaker a puppy dog who would have to deal with him tonight. So we knew that we were already getting Jey versus Braun Breaker tonight. Rollins then egged on Breaker by claiming that Jey said things about Breaker and his family that he never actually did. Rollins claimed that Jey said that he was a better and stronger athlete than Braun was, and claimed that Jey thought his family was nothing but stupid. Breaker believed it all. Breaker was about to go after Jey, wanted to fight right now, and Rollins stopped him. Heyman said that in a bingo hall not far from here, men used to settle their differences in the ring in a particular type of match. He was about to proclaim the match in the name of Sandman, New Jack, Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Tommy Dreamer. And he goes, well, Tommy Dreamer's still alive. Or Tommy Dreamer, they fucking asked if Tommy Dreamer was dead or not. And they're like, I don't know. Tommy Dreamer's running TNA. And they said, and the Dudley Boys. Jay then cut him off, goes, you want an Extreme Rules match? Let's do it. I accept. Yeet. So our main event did end up being an Extreme Rules match, which really played into what everyone thought. Oh, there's going to be a lot of interference in this main event, regardless of what it is. And there was. But, yeah. Fucking Paul Heyman called Tommy Dreamer the late Tommy Dreamer. Like, what? Late, great Tommy Dreamer. And then he's like, yeah, I know he's not really dead, but he should be. Like, fuck, Paul. So Asuka was in the back. She apologized to Io Sky for shoving her last week. Kairi Sane and Asuka offered to be at ringside with her for her match tonight with Raquel Rodriguez, but Sky politely was like, no, it's fine. Yeah, I don't need any help. And they were all like, cool, happy, and on the same page. We did get Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez tonight. Sky was about to go for a dive early on, but was tripped by Roxanne Perez from the outside of the ring. Rodriguez used the distraction to boot Sky. Rodriguez then took over in the moment as we go to a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Sky had hit a missile drop kick, and the crowd was cheering for her as she posed. Yeah! Sky went for a bullet train, but Rodriguez caught her and hit her with a Samoan drop, followed by a corkscrew elbow for a 2. Rodriguez avoided a moonsault and turned Sky inside out with a clothesline for yet another 2. At one point, Sky wiped out Perez with a suicide dive and went for one on Rodriguez, but Rodriguez caught her and rolled through to her feet. Rodriguez then lawn darted Sky on the ring apron and went for a Tejana bomb in the ring, but Sky countered out of it and hit the bullet train. Sky followed this up with a big old moonsault and pinned Raquel to pick up the victory. Perez and Rodriguez then went on the attack 2-on-1, and who would come out to make the save? Not Asuka, not Kairi, but Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, new tattoos and all, running out here making the save, and she quickly helped the dispatch of the Judgment Day and joined Io in the ring to check on her and see if she's okay. So this was pretty good. I enjoyed this. I thought it was a great little match to open up the show, and as we see later, I think it is starting to slow burn that turn of Asuka, the heel turn of Asuka. Jackie Redmond was in the back. She interviewed LA Knight, but before he can really say much of anything, CM Punk interrupted. Punk said the Redmond could leave, but Knight told her, no, stay. Punk thought that Knight didn't like him, but Knight said that it wasn't personal. Punk kept stepping into my business. Punk thought that, they should stay on the same page till these clash at the castle. They should help thwart the vision and make sure that Seth doesn't have any upper hands going into the pay-per-view. And basically, LA Knight was like, no. You worry about you, I'll worry about me. Kind of the same thing that Jey Uso told CM Punk as well. There's a fly flying in front of me. So then the New Day came out. They cut a heel promo during the break, and this led to Xavier Woods versus Penta. But before that, when we come back from the break, they did a lot of stuff highlighting Triple Mania. It was the most viewed edition of Triple Mania in history. After everything was said and done, between the 3 YouTube channels that it aired on in the first 24 hours, 4.3 million views. They didn't state where those 4.3 million views came from. They all came from YouTube, combined between the regular WWE YouTube, the WWE Espanol YouTube, and the AAA YouTube. So Corey Graves like, this show went global, Michael Cole. And I can't remember if it was during this match or later, but during one of the entrances. No, it was for the tag match that had Dragon Lee and Mr. Iguana. Michael Cole was asking Corey Graves about Triple Mania, and he's like, yeah, Mr. Iguana was in a match with Lola Vice and Nino Hamburguesa. He's like, hamburger what? He's like, yeah, basically he's a hamburger. He eats hamburgers. He tried to offer Finn Balor a hamburger, and Finn Balor, or not Finn Balor, Michael Cole goes, wait, what? Hamburgers and iguanas and Diamantes or whatever. He couldn't say Diamante properly, or Diamanito or whatever it is. But it was just funny. You could hear Cole's trying not to crack himself up. He's like, what? This guy had hamburgers and there was an iguana? And Corey's just like, don't worry. Once we get Hamburguesa over here, you're going to see what's up, Michael Cole. You're going to be amazed. So Corey over here trying to put everybody over from Triple Mania, which was, if you didn't see my review this morning, I said it was a fantastic show. Not perfect, because no wrestling show is 100% perfect, but great show from start to finish. I heard Philly Tom Lawler talking about it today. He goes, I was never planning on watching Triple Mania, but then on Sunday morning, it just got suggested to me on YouTube. So I let it play. I watched that first match, and next thing I know, I was sitting there through the whole entire show. Didn't get up once. He's like, I sat there and watched the whole thing straight because I enjoyed it that much. I'm like, yeah, that's a very glowing review of this show, to the point where you weren't planning on watching it. They just randomly put it on and then watched the entire thing in one sitting without moving. That is what you call a very glowing review. But we're in the back. Asuka and Sane approached Ripley and Sky. Asuka didn't appreciate that Ripley was stepping into their business, helping Sky instead of her. And basically Rhea goes, well, I didn't see you out there helping, so somebody had to. Asuka and Ripley kind of got into a little argument here. A shouting match, as someone say, till Sky finally yelled a little louder than all of them to stop. Sky kept shouting as she left and could be heard off screen as Asuka and Ripley just stared at each other. Asuka left. Ripley was annoyed, and Kairi Sane just looked disappointed in everybody. Just all of it all together. Like, shit, I'm caught in the middle. Then we got Xavier Woods versus Penta. It's a pretty good match. Xavier Woods had control early on, which meant, 90 seconds in, we go to another commercial break. But hey, don't want breaks? Don't want to have to miss anything during matches? International Netflix. That's all you need. And to get that, all you need is a Netflix subscription and a free VPN. If you live in America, you can watch during the matches with a free VPN. We're going to put a link into the chat right now. Show you, for a video to show you how to get a free VPN. So let's go here. Get a free VPN now. Put the link in the chat for the video because you guys are going to need this. You want to watch SmackDown live this week? You want to watch SmackDown when everybody else gets to watch it around the world? Use that VPN, the free VPN. Because SmackDown this Friday on Netflix is going to be at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Then the week after that, SmackDown live on Netflix, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. From now till the Raw after Clash in Paris, everything's international. So next week's Raw, airing early. The Raw after that, airing early. The next 2 SmackDowns, airing early. And if you want to watch all those shows early, Netflix, you'll get them early for Raw no matter what, whatever. But the SmackDowns, you can get them early if you watch on Netflix. And if you're in the United States and go, well, I don't have national Netflix. How am I supposed to watch SmackDown on Netflix? We got a video showing you exactly how to set up a free VPN. We got 2 examples on there of free VPNs. Don't need to go use anybody's coupon code to get NordVPN, Surfshark, or ExpressVPN. No. They say, it's pennies on the day. It's dollars to donuts. It's so cheap to buy a VPN. Yeah, but why spend even $2 a day or a month or whatever it is? You can do it for free. We'll have more videos coming as well over the next couple of months. So that way, if you don't want to pay $30 a month for ESPN, well, we'll hook you up and figure out how to get you working on multiple devices, not just a computer with a browser, but we're going to start checking out things on a Google TV. Got one of them I can check. Roku TV, got one of them I can check. Amazon Fire Sticks, got a bunch of them we can check. So we'll be helping you hook it all up. Corey says, why Monday Night Raw is going to be starting at an earlier time next month? Next week, it's going to be early because they're overseas in Birmingham, UK. So, yeah, Raw will be airing early live next week on Netflix because they're going to be in the UK. And then the week after that, they're in Paris. So there you go. Great thing about Netflix, when we get these international shows, they're going to air them live on Netflix. That has been the best, greatest thing about the new Netflix and WWE deal, is getting these shows early. But as far as this match does go, during the break, Michael Cole and Woods During the break, Michael Cole said that Xavier Woods tracked down Petey Williams to find out how to counter the Destroyer, which this was actually from Friday. There was a video of Xavier Woods at SmackDown talking to Petey Williams, asking him how to counter the Destroyer because, you know, Petey Williams invented the Destroyer, the Canadian Destroyer. Penta made a comeback and wiped out Woods and Waller with a dive. Woods responded later with a reverse vertical suplex for a 2. The crowd was deathly silent as Penta countered Woods' honor roll and going for a Penta driver. At one point, Penta didn't immediately go for a cover, though, and Woods managed to roll to the ropes. This allowed Kingston to put Woods' foot on the bottom rope to break the cover. Penta then wiped out Kingston and Waller with a flip dive. Woods then tried to steal a win with a small package, but Penta kicked out and hit a Canadian Destroyer, or as they call it now, the Mexican Destroyer, to pick up the victory. Kingston and Waller entered the ring right after, and Penta bailed. He's like, you guys ain't giving me 3-on-1. Nope, sirree, Bob. It was a fun little match. Kofi was on commentary. They got a new shirt. It's like a newspaper thing. And they said they're raising money. And Michael goes, where's the money going to? You guys are raising money. Raising money for what? Where's the money going to? He goes, us? Where else would it go, Cole? So that was funny. But moving forward, they showed Dominic Mysterio getting pinned by El Hijo del Vikingo at Triple Mania, thanks to none other than AJ Styles. After the show, Dom called Styles an old bat for costing him the title and said that he would beat Vikingo in Vegas on September 12th at Worlds Collide. And they did officially announce this earlier today. And then the day on Raw with the graphic, it is official. The main event for Worlds Collide on September 12th. It's Dominic Mysterio challenging Vikingo for the title. Dom lost last night or Saturday night. I don't think Dom loses in Vegas. I don't think Dom loses on September 12th at Worlds Collide. I think Dom is winning the goddamn AAA Mega Championship in Vegas. And it's going to be a weird show to watch because we got to watch SmackDown from 8 to 10. And soon as SmackDown ends, you go to YouTube and boom, Triple Mania starts in Vegas on September 12th. I think, wait. Where is SmackDown that night? Now that I think about it. No, that's not an international show. Never mind. I was trying to think if that's one of the international shows. That's after the international run. Because SmackDown on the 12th. Yeah, that's Norfolk, Virginia. You ain't going to want to miss that show because that's a Brock show. That's the first of 2 shows that Brock is advertised for. But, yeah, WWE is running a SmackDown and Worlds Collide on the same night. So essentially, SmackDown will start at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then it'll start, so that's local time in Norfolk, Virginia at 8 p.m. But then Worlds Collide, if you're going to go live, that's actually only 8 p.m. Think about it, 8 p.m. Pacific time where the show is taking place. So it's actually smart to be doing it West Coast Pacific time because then it's not really for you there at the show any later than a normal show is going to actually start. So kudos on WWE for working that out. And it's at the Thomas & Mack Center, the pavilion at the Thomas & Mack Center. Esports Gaming Rules with a bit donation says the arena is in Philly is now known as the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Yes, because Xfinity has a lot of marketing money that has been opened up. They are no longer the sponsor after the end of this year of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. That is now the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I don't see anybody calling it that. Anybody saying the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. No, it's either going to be the NASCAR O'Reilly Series or we can call it the No App Series. NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts. No apps. The No App Series. But yes, Xfinity is no longer sponsoring the second tier of NASCAR. So they have marketing money to spend. And they spent it over here on this building. Was this one? I always mix this up with Philly and Pittsburgh. Which one's the Wells Fargo and which one's the PPG Paints? I want to say this was the Wells Fargo in Philly, right? It used to be Wells Fargo. Or was this PPG Paints? I always mix those two up. Which one had the PPG Paints? Which one had the Wells Fargo in Pittsburgh and Philly? I always mix those two up. But he says it's the Xfinity Mobile Arena in South Philly Sports Complex. And the owner of the Flyers and 76ers are building a new arena for the future of the city, or for the future of the same complex in Philly. Did not know that part. Did not know they're building a new building. I know OKC's getting a new stadium, or not stadium, but arena. So Thunder getting a new arena. Might need to go check that out once it's built in 2028. That's only a 2.5 hour drive from me. So if WWE wants to go run a big show in that new arena in Philly or OKC, Oklahoma City. Okay, Wayne says PPG Paints is Pittsburgh. So they had Wells Fargo. So it was a Wells Fargo arena. Got it. I always mix those two up. Like Philly, Pittsburgh, P's and W's. Anyways. Next up, we had a non-title match. It was Finn Balor and JD McDonough against Dragon Lee and Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana making his main roster debut. His first time wrestling on Monday Night Raw. Mr. Iguana got a okay reaction. It wasn't like a, oh my God, the world just exploded reaction or anything, but he got a, I guess you would say, modest reaction. Corey Graves tried putting him over on commentary like he's the next coming. He's like, everyone's going to learn today, basically. Dragon Lee was in control early on for a couple of minutes before tagging in Mr. Iguana. There were light cheers for him when he tagged in. People are still learning. Like, it's in a AAA show, so it's not the people that know him already. So we got to learn who the guy is. Get a little more acquainted with him. But Balor immediately cut him off. Crowd saying Dom's name as Balor had the heat. Dragon Lee and Mr. Iguana wiped out Balor and McDonough with dives ahead of a break. Things slowed down during the break, and when we returned, McDonough hit Dragon Lee with the Poison Rana, but Lee quickly responded with a Liger Bomb. Mr. Iguana made the hot tag and had some offense in, including using his puppet Legieska, which didn't really get much of a reaction from the live crowd in Philly. Dragon Lee tagged himself in. McDonough wiped out Mr. Iguana with the Acai Moonsault. Balor then hit Dragon Lee with a Sling Blade, but Lee came back with a super kick. McDonough then distracted the referee as Dom grabbed Lee by the leg. This allowed Balor to hit Lee with a drop kick and a coup de grace to pick up the victory. So, Judgment Day gets the victory. Big win for JD and all JD. Judgment Day put the boots to the babyfaces post-match. Dom cleared the announce table, but he was attacked by Vikingo. Vikingo attacked McDonough in the ring, but Dom attacked Vikingo from behind with his own mega championship. Judgment Day then aided Dom, who hit Vikingo with a big frog splash. So I love that they're really building this up on WWE television. It's not just like the match was announced and then we'll see what happens. No, I love that Vikingo showed up. He got involved. They're plugging the match, big, this, that, everything. Like, I love it. I am very happy that they're doing it like this and not just, oh, this match was announced. We'll see it when we see it. No, you got to plug it and promote it. And they're using the main roster to do so, which is great. Wayne, we already talked about that. I'm not going to repeat myself. You were here when I said it, I'm pretty sure. And Raw's not moving next month. It's next week. Oh, wait. You're talking about the show in Raleigh, North Carolina. Don't believe anything fucking Ringside News says. Yes, the show in Raleigh, North Carolina, doors are opening an hour earlier than normal. I don't know why, but if you read what Ringside News said, Ringside News reported that they think that there's going to be a double taping on that night, and that's why the show's got to start an hour early. No, because the SmackDown later that week has got a date. The Raw the next week has a date. There's nowhere that needs a double taping, so I don't think they're doing a double taping. I just think it's something that it might start an hour early because they need to start an hour early in that building. No one knows why, and it doesn't really make a difference. Everybody getting all up in arms. Oh, why is the show starting early? No, the show might not even be starting early. It could just be the sole fact that the show is airing. The doors are opening early. Maybe they're filming more main event. Maybe they got more speed they're going to bring back or something. But yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, don't believe things that come from Ringside News unless they say first reported by or from, and then they got like a Fightful or a PW Insider or an Observer or a Post Wrestling or something on it. Y'all getting all up in arms over something that came from fucking Ringside News. Like, I didn't see any other website reporting about this, at least any other with any credibility. I did see a couple others after Ringside News, and then like Ringside News reported. Yeah, sorry, Wayne, for me getting a little rude there earlier. I thought you were asking about next week again. My bad. But yeah, no, I saw a couple websites. Ringside News reported Raw's moving up an hour next month. I'm like, no, just because the doors are opening a little early doesn't mean nothing. It just means maybe they're filming something extra. Maybe they're filming main event there instead of on a Friday. I don't know. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, as we move forward here, Jackie Redmond interviewed Becky Lynch in the back and asked why she attacked Natalya last week. Lynch claimed that she was the best Maxine, that she saw the best of Maxine thanks to her. And she was only defending herself when Natalya shoved her first. Lynch said that Natalya has been wrestling in different promotions to, quote, prove herself. But Natalya didn't belong in the ring with her. Lynch then welcomed her to the big time. So there was a new Bayley interview video. She was talking to herself. She's now got split personality. It's like a two-faced kind of deal. And she's hearing her inner voices and inner demons. And then her inner demons are now calling her a loser. And she's believing it. And now we can hear it too. I mean, these are cool, but it's kind of weird at the same time. And I'm interested to see where it goes. If Bayley just goes crazy and turns into like a crazy psycho character, cool. Give me like Harley Quinn from the Joker movie where she's just crazy off her rocker. But the worst part of this, and I hope she doesn't do it, Bayley is always on social media just posting the nicest things, like hanging out with family and babysitting her I think nephew. So it's like if she's gonna go crazy on TV, you may want to kayfabe your social media a little bit. Wayne, I actually thought about going to that show because that week I have to be in Dallas one day. It doesn't matter what day, but I got to be in Dallas one day that week. And I could go that day and then go to Raw. I don't know. I thought about it, bud. I thought about it. But I don't think I'm going to go on the Monday. I think I might go on like down there on a Wednesday or Thursday. Probably the Thursday. Anyways, women's Intercontinental title match. Becky Lynch, Natalya. This is a fine match. I mean, these two worked well together. I didn't like the fact that they did the Natty injury angle. And oh my God, Natty's hurt. They're checking on her. We got to go to a break. But the thing is, we learned with Liv, if it's a real injury, they're just going to cut the match. They're just going to say, nope, you're hurt. We got to get you out of here. But Natty, they kept on wrestling. And they kept on saying, well, we think Natty might be hurt. You know, they were checking on her. That arm doesn't look good. Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you kind of killed this gimmick. You killed this when you had the Liv thing where Liv just couldn't continue. And then especially, you put her in the disarmor. You put her in the arm bar. And that hurt arm. Yeah, no. Nope. So this kind of pulled me from the match a little bit because they keep the injury. And they did it in the same way that was kind of similar to Liv, where like Liv was sitting up against the barricade and everyone was checking on her and everything. This one, the ref came and checked on her and the ref's like calling for something, but nothing ever happens. Yeah, it was just kind of weird and it made it a little awkward. It made it kind of awkward. But after all of that, Lynch applied an arm bar and I'm like, oh yeah, Natty's perfectly freaking fine. And eventually fought out of it, hit a power bomb, like literally lifted her and boom, right back down. So I'm like, oh yeah, Natty's 100% fine with the hurt arm. Fuck this. Lynch avoided. Natty tried to go for the sharpshooter, but Lynch avoided it. Natty then hit a big old discus clothesline for a 2. Dupree then checked on Natty, so Lynch booted Dupree and hit Tozawa with a baseball slide. This then led to Natalya applying a cradle, which was probably meant to get a big reaction, and it didn't. Didn't get any reaction. Lynch then kicked out, applied a disarmor, and Natty tapped out. So it's like we got badass Natty working AAA, working NWA, working GCW. And then we just got nice, whatever, I'm just an okay wrestler Natty in WWE. I get it. She wants to do different things, different places. Bring that fuck badass Natty to the main freaking roster. If they're going to let Natty do that in AAA, they need to have Natty bring that to the main roster. Maybe Becky needs to beat her ass one more time, and that's when she flips out and goes to Natty from Natalya, I guess you would say. When she's a badass, she's Natty. When she's Mother Hen, she's Natalya. Lynch then checked on Natalya and Dupree after the match. Put Dupree in the disarmor And so Nikki Bella came out. You can look, but you can't touch. And Nikki made the save, hit Becky with a rack attack 2.0, and left the champ laying. Just got a reaction for Nikki as well. Just a reaction. Then commentary tells us, we got stuff to talk about. Naomi is our women's world champion. She has something she needs to tell everybody, and they just dropped the ball here with letting Naomi announce the announcement. They go, tonight, right after Raw, we're gonna have a special edition of What's Your Story with Steph McMahon. And on that show is going to be Naomi and Jimmy Uso. And they air a clip, and they're like, well, I got something to announce, and then it cuts, and they're like, we'll hear from Naomi next. And I'm like, oh yeah, Naomi's pregnant. They didn't even let Naomi announce it. They showed the clip and spoiled it all. Stephanie even calls her Trinity in the podcast. But anyways, before all of that though, Jackie Redmond interviewed Sheamus, but he was interrupted. Rusev from afar, just like, hey, Sheamus, basically. And the two men, bulls coming, and they're brawling and fighting. And Adam Pearce runs up. He's like, hey, enough. And you got guys that's holding both these guys back. He's like, we're going to end this. We're going to end this once and for all. We're going to clash in Paris. You guys are going to fight in a good old Donnybrook match. Get it all out there because I'm done with this. He was so mad. And Pierce was so mad. So then Vic Joseph interviewed Trick Williams, all the NXT guys in town because NXT's in Philly tomorrow as well. I saw Fightful with the report. Because they Fightful first reported earlier in the day, Kingo and Mr. Iguana, they're in town. And then he goes, another non-WWE wrestler or main roster wrestler is in town. And he's like, Joe Hendry is in town. He's in Philly. And I'm seeing all these people start retweeting, Joe Hendry could be on Raw tonight. He's in Philly. Joe Hendry could be... Fucking on the Emergence pay-per-view on Friday, Joe Hendry on commentary goes, oh, by the way, guys, I'm going to be in Philly on Tuesday for NXT, just so you know. Like, he announced it on frickin' Emergence. Why you got to put behind your paywall that Joe Hendry's in town when everybody knew he was going to be in town? Like, come on. Why would you put that behind the paywall when the guy himself announced it on Friday's pay-per-view or app special, whatever you want to call those? Anyways, Vic Joseph interviewed TNA champion Trick Williams during the break. They were interrupted by Javon Evans. Basically, Trick got all mad and left. Javon said he's going to beat Trick tomorrow, become number one contender for the title because this boy is bouncy. So, yeah, I think tomorrow they're doing a Trick versus Javon match. Winner gets, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it's winner gets Oba for the title at Heatwave. Also, Philly Street Fight. Josh Briggs and Inamura. Josh Briggs' promo last week sucked balls. But I think him and Inamura have a hell of a street fight. Philly street fight. I think that match should be really fun tomorrow. So CM Punk approaches Jey Uso in the back and goes, hey, got your back tonight if you need it. Extreme Rules, they're all going to be out there. And he goes, yo, hey, appreciate it, but I didn't ask for it. Clash of Paris, it's every man for himself. Tonight, it's just me. So, I appreciate it, but I don't need it. And they shook hands. Probably because he knew he had the OTC. So Naomi comes out. Adam Pearce is in the ring. He says, I want to introduce to you, we bring out our women's world champion. And so Naomi's in the ring, and he's like, Naomi, I know you have something you need to announce. I need something you need to tell the people, so the floor is yours. And so Naomi's like, yeah. So and she's getting all emotional and everything. She goes, let's just run the video. Let's play it. Let's look at the screen. And so it's them on Stephanie's podcast. They filmed an emergency episode. And basically Big Jim says, Naomi says, we have something to announce. Big Jim says, yep, everyone needs to proceed with caution because there's a baby on board. And so Naomi does confirm, yes, she is pregnant. So she's in the ring and she's still healing it up. Because Adam Pearce is like, all right, the attention's on you, I'm going to leave, whatever. She goes, you best get out of my ring. He goes, you think I'm just going to drop this belt and hand it over? I ain't handing shit over. And I'm like, whoa. She goes, my hormones are jumping like crazy, like a disco. Get out of my ring. And she's like, get to stepping, Pierce. And I'm like, what? Okay. And she encouraged the fans to sing the goodbye song to Adam Pearce. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. And so everyone's chanting for Naomi, and she thanks them and everything. She said that the women in the back should be thanking one person, old Big Jim, because he likes to Netflix and chill. Because if it wasn't for him, she'd be walking all of them like a dog. She would never lose this belt. Thanks to Big Jim. She's going to have to do something she doesn't want to. The crowd starts chanting, "You deserve it." She said she was happy to hear it. She exclaimed, quote, "On the bright side, I guess the bloodline gets to continue, baby." So even though Roman ain't got like 6 kids, fans just start chanting for the OTC. And like, why are they chanting for Roman? And then they start chanting, "Baby Uso, Baby Uso." But Naomi then says, "I'm going to do something. I got to do it. I'm going to lay this belt down. I'm going to leave it right here in the ring." She said, "But all you effers in the back, a little over 9 months, I'm going to be back. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this back. Even if it means that I got to do it while I'm breastfeeding, holding my baby. So you all better proceed with caution." So Naomi will be back. Probably be about a year. As we've seen roughly with these women in wrestling. About a year. Becky was a little longer. Ronda was, she gave birth. That's 10 months. Plus 4. Yeah, that was about a year. Because she was like 4 months after she returned. Same with Lacey Evans. When she gave birth, she had a baby. And then like 3 to 4 months, she was back. So, yeah, Naomi's most likely, and we don't know. It could be even longer. Maybe she's feeling some sort of way and doesn't want to leave the baby. Just like Becky. Becky was almost 2 years. Alexa Bliss was over 2 years. But congratulations to Naomi, to Jimmy Uso. This is the first child they've had together. I believe Jimmy's got kids of his own already, because Naomi has talked about, yeah, it's great to be a step parent, but I'd love to be a mom to one of my own. So congratulations to the both of them. A couple things got announced for next week's Monday Night Raw. Remember, that show does start 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific from Birmingham, the UK. Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez. Kofi Kingston versus Penta. Also, Byron Saxton interviewed Nikki Bella during the break. So if you guys only have US Netflix, you didn't see this. But Nikki called out Becky to meet her in the ring next week. So basically, we're getting Nikki and Becky next week as well. You know, some sort of face-to-face. But if you were watching on US Netflix, you didn't know that because they did it during a break. So backstage, Judgment Day weren't sure where Dom was. Then they bumped into him while he was speaking to El Grande Americano, or El Grande Amerikaiser. Dom then told Balor he just wanted to ensure Judgment Day always stayed on top. Balor acted like he was fine with this, but he clearly was not. Caught off guard. You don't like people making deals, wheeling and dealing without his approval. You know, Finn thinks he's the leader. People like to do things on their own. Finn don't like it. Before we get into our Extreme Rules main event, let's hear from our sponsor. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an AECOOLY handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3 speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper quiet motor, the AECOOLY fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/AECOOLY. That's AECOOLY now for coolin' in the palm of your hand. As far as our main event does go, give me 1 second to go back to my notes. I was getting the poll going on Twitch. One second. Okay, so as far as this main event does go, here's who came down. He's like dyed his hair. It's like a maroonish, almost a little more purple than maroon color. who are bandana like a new jack, carried a shopping cart full of weapons to ringside. Early in the match, Jay clotheslined Braun over the top, and Braun landed right on top of the cart, which didn't look like it was fun at all. Braun then stayed down for a while until blocking Jay's dive attempt and hitting him with a steel chair. Braun then hit I missed a whole paragraph there. Skipped a whole paragraph. There we go. Braun cut off Jay's comeback attempt and dropped him gut first on two chairs that were edged up together. So that didn't look fun. Braun then used his usual leaping clothesline off the apron onto the announce table, but this time with a trash can in hand. During a break, Jay gave Braun a back body drop through a pair of cardboard like those things. I don't know exactly what it was, but it looked like cardboard. Braun Breaker at one point hit a Frankensteiner, went for a super spear, but Jay cut him off with a spear of his own, which is more like Jay's little headbutt thing. It's weird. Jay then hit him repeatedly with a steel chair before hitting another spear. Jay hit an Uso splash seemingly for the win, and out came Bronson Reed to pull out the ref. Reed attacked Jay, and Cole said, "This was all legal in Extreme Rules." You can question why Reed wasn't out there from the beginning, though, but whatever. Knight ran out to even out the odds. Rollins then ran out from the crowd to take out Knight. Rollins then laid out Jay with the pedigree, and Punk would come out next. Rollins slipped into the ring to escape Punk, but would end up getting attacked by both Knight and Punk. Punk set up Rollins for a GTS, but Rollins slipped out and shoved Punk into Knight. Knight then fell off the apron and crashed through a table at ringside. Punk kind of shrugged his shoulders like, it wasn't my fault, and then chased Rollins to the crowd. Braun then set up a table in the corner. Jay super kicked him onto the table. Jay then went to the top, but Reed shoved him off the top rope. The crowd then chanted for Roman Reigns, knowing that he was advertised for tonight's show, and sure enough, out comes Roman, as Braun was looking for him. So he was going to do a super spear around the ring. Roman came from the other side and boom, super spear Braun instead. So he threw him into the ring. Roman then speared Bronson Reed. Jay super kicked Braun onto the table, hit the Uso splash through it, and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Crowd popped big. They were happy. Good ending here. Fun little match. Jay then posed for the crowd, and Reigns was yelling at Bronson Reed, saying, "Hey, I'll see you in Paris. I'll see you in Paris." And Bronson's like, "Let's do it. Bring it on, big man. Give me your shoes." So I don't think, I can go check, WWE hasn't officially said it yet, but it looks like it's Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed in Paris. Everyone's been waiting for that Braun Breaker match with Roman. Let's see if they've officially announced it yet. Donnybrook match officially announced. Yeah, they haven't put out a graphic yet. Or let's check their website really fast. For Roman and Bronson Reed, but they were gonna have Roman say, I challenge you," and not do it. So yeah, not officially announced yet, but it's all but announced. That was Raw. Very easy, fun show. Smooth, flew by. It was easy to watch. Unlike Raw or SmackDown last week, that was just so boring. Everybody said that show was boring. But with all of that, you know what I thought of tonight's Raw. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's program. Let's go and check the polls. Let's refresh all of this. Far as the Threads poll does go, 73% liked the show, 27% thought it was just all right. Looking at the Twitter X poll, as far as that one does go, it'll load. Come on. 81% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 80% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. Our live poll does go, 81% liked the show, 13% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. I think it's unanimous. Everyone liked Raw. Everyone liked Raw tonight. Everybody that voted on Twitch also liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. We'll be back live on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Have a great night. Have a great week. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch,